Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed into us. But what if we flip that whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and our lives. Welcome to the place where chronically means healthy, wealthy, joyful, and ridiculously alive. Let's flip the script together. Today, I am so happy to reintroduce a good friend of mine, Cable Jones, who is here today to talk, let us get to know him today and find out, dig into who Cable is, and he's a very interesting person. So, Cable, let's start. Instead of me reading a bio about you, why don't you just give us a general overview of what you do?
Wow, that's a massive amount of things to speak about. 6,000 words worth, 6,000 books worth of information. What I do, I see my title says high performance coach, real-time healer, real-time understanding of life process. So many years ago, I was talking about, in the moment I meet somebody, I was like, hey, I'm getting insight into this person. I'm going to talk about what I'm feeling. And someone said to me, Cable, you should, that's one of your key terms, real time. And then I said, realtimehealing.com. And for a while I had that website, but now it's speaktocable.com because I actually like to speak and help people understand what's going on in health issues. Some people have called me a medical intuitive. That could be another term, but I find that I have lots of different skills. Recently, I've been helping horses up in Alaska with their all sorts of issues. Like one of the horses can't lie down to sleep, has gone through a lot of negative experience in her life. This horse literally stands up long enough until it actually crashes to the ground, and it's just really highly arthritic type individual horse. So now I'm helping that horse be able to lay down and sleep in a natural way rather than having to stand constantly in order to sleep. Yeah. So that's horses, but also people. They have all sorts of different things that they're trying to solve. And I get calls in all day long as for people who need immediate help, but then I also meet with people in a more interval fashion once a week, once a month. And a large portion of what I do is through text because we don't know, human body doesn't usually know exactly what needs to happen or how to heal in the hour. And a large portion of the medical community and practitioners like, come back next week for another hour. And we kind of like, but I have things every single day that need help. So I set up my practice to help on a more consistent basis. Every hour, I'm helping people get back to what they want to do in life. And it works really well for the professional athlete that would like to get back in the game as quickly as possible. So I set it up in order to help as many people as quickly as possible.
Hmm. So it's you are not a hands-on person. You're an energetic healer, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yes.
you can be wherever and help a horse in Alaska or help a professional athlete who's playing in Florida and you're in, Hawaii or whatever, right?
Yeah. As this past week, though, I've been traveling through Southern California, up in the middle area of California, and I did meet in person at people's offices at their homes to discover things I hadn't been able to discover from a distance. So I do in person meetings when I've worked with someone from a remote distance and I need just a little bit more help. So I go meet with them in person. This particular person I'm thinking about, I just met in her office, and she actually had like 20 different things. Like, I think I'm allergic to all of these things, and I'm having trouble with each. I can't eat this, and I can't eat that. And another doctor said I had issue with this, and she still thinks I'm allergic to chicken eggs. And I was like, you're not allergic to the egg, but you're allergic to the chicken, the live chicken that had the egg. And so it was like something she hadn't understood fully. And then I actually showed her another technique that she'd never seen before into aligning her chakras, her 7 chakras, 8th, 9th, 10th chakra. They were specifically allergic to certain parts of the things that she was talking about. And so other people and even herself hadn't gone to the detail of like, wow, my root chakra is allergic to chicken, and my heart chakra is allergic to chocolate. They hadn't broken it down into that area and balanced out everything in the entire body. So sometimes there's more detail is needed and sometimes less detail, but most of the time, most people haven't gone to the depth that they need in order to solve situations as thoroughly as they'd like.
Yes. Yes. I think that's what I find so fascinating about what you do, because it's so deep. It is, we're so conditioned by this surface level, just get rid of the symptom type of healing. And yours is a deep, like, change things so that your body's functioning at.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what your high performance is, correct?
Right. Well, there was another lady I just met with this morning, and she's a high performance individual. She gets what she wants in life. She goes from A to B. She goes directly to getting her dreams, solves that really easily well. But that was actually causing a breakdown inside her visual ability to see things. So her eyes were beginning to not be able to see as well as they had in the past. And I said, well, your A to B, your ability to do that so quickly, there's some parts of your life that needed to go from A to C, A to Z, to B to meander, not so fast, because she was moving so fast. In some situations, difficult situations in her life, she moved so quickly through those areas that what she needed at that time, childhood, teenager space of difficulty. But now when she's older, those areas of her inside of her brain actually have gone through like a burning, because she's gone through things so quickly, experiences in her past that were negative. It caused an injury to her optic system. So I helped her understand, okay, let's go back, and some parts of your life need to go fast, but some parts of your life actually needed to go slower. And now they need to even go slower so you can start healing up in a way that you've never been able to heal up. And so there's like a little burning energy that I could feel in her optic chiasm in the middle of the back of her eyes where it crosses. And as soon as she started adding in meandering in a large portion of her experiences for real life, I could tell that part of her head was healing up. So her eyes would become even more ability to focus and be healthier than they had up to that point.
Mm-hmm. And so I think you once said to me that you didn't always have this ability, that this came to you, or that you weren't. Maybe a better way to say it.
I discovered that I always had the ability, but I just didn't ever use it in the way where I hadn't moved to a level of light in order to see what the gifts. I often work with people who are existing from a certain level of light, and they're like, I don't have the special skill sets that you do. Kay was like, well, we turn on a few lights around you in your space inside, you'll start seeing things that you've not been able to see before. And up to about 2015, I was kind of going through my own training processes and understandings, but I hadn't quite really connected to the ability to pick up on energy around me in such a level until I did identify what I have a really high skill set to connect with things that I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So do you think that's for just people, we all have abilities that we just have to activate, do you think?
I think the abilities are there and already activated. It takes a new level of awareness, and sometimes like the people I work with, they're like, tell me more, and I identify, well, this is a skill set you didn't know you didn't have. You have, but you didn't know that you could use it in this way, and then it allows them to take that new insight and then start practicing with their new found awareness. And they like, yeah, actually I do have a skill set in this area. Like I had a client who had received a lot of, they call them healing codes, numbers that you can identify in order to heal a certain part of your energy field. You maybe you have a painful wrist, and he's like, okay, apply this code 178218. Put it down on a piece of paper, tape that to your wrist, and in a couple of days you won't have a painful wrist. That would be a code that has been allowed to infiltrate the wrist area, that has just the right sequence of numbers that allows the wrist to heal up in a way that they might have not known. And so I had another client who had this type of work done in many parts of her life in previous times. And I said, you actually have that skill set as well, coming up with codes to help others. And then over the next couple months, I helped her refine that. And she actually had even more of a skill set than the practitioners she went to get codes. She would get from her practitioners just a one line of code that she could use to help her heal. But in her case, when she saw codes, she could see them in vortexes and squares and spirals, and she could expand them out or make them larger or smaller. She had like 10 times the skill set than the practitioners that she went to. So she had even more of a skill set than even the people that she thought, like, this person really knows what they're talking about. But she actually had in her inside even more of ability to help the body heal that she didn't even know she had. So until it was pointed out, and now she regularly like thinks through different codes in different shapes, and by manipulating the shape or helping the shape change, she can put in codes and the shape changes, and then the person like, wow, I feel much better. This is amazing. It's it's just a new level of skill set that I hadn't even fathomed. But as soon as I started feeling what she was doing inside of her, I could like, wow, I could help her even fine tune on top of what she had already identified. I was like, okay, yeah, and then do the code times 55,000, and then like I could add to the code to even make it even more dynamic in the people that she was helping.
Oh, that's so cool. That's like quantum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I can't wait to go deeper with you on this topic, Cable. You're such an interesting person. But right now, we're just going to take a quick break. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back with Cable Jones.
Everything we're made of contains light. From the sun that feeds our world to the energy that flows within us. With LifeWave X39, we've found a way to put that light to work. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHK-Cu, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality. By gently stimulating the skin with light, our non-invasive, non-transdermal X39 patches help you conquer your active lifestyle and pave a new way to vibrant health. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. It all starts with your body and a little help from light. Place one LifeWave X39 patch on the body. Apply the patch to clean, dry skin in the morning. Patches may be worn for up to 12 hours before discarding. Keep well hydrated while using this product. Harness your natural potential. Reclaim youthful energy. Live long, live well, live young with LifeWave X39. Be the light. LifeWave.
When you look in the mirror, do you see skin that's just dry, tired, and stressed? It's time for a new ritual. Introducing Deep Love, the Blue Botanical Face Cream by Coolness. We've captured their tranquil essence of blue botanicals in a cloud-soft formula that deeply soothes irritation and restores your natural, healthy glow. This isn't just skincare, it's an act of self-care. It's deep love. Find your calm only at coolness.com. Scan the QR code now to visit our website.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. We are here. I'm Kristy Boyd-Johnson, and we're here with our guest, Cable Jones. And Cable, I was just thinking about, I was kind of wondering something about you. So you have this gift and you became aware more and more aware that this gift was real and that it was getting deeper for you, what's kind of started motivating you to put yourself out there as a real-time healer, a medical intuitive, to help people, reach a higher performance level in their lives?
I I'm a very quiet individual in life up to 2015. I started, just felt like, whenever I get insight, I'm going to help. I'm going to speak to whoever I'm getting that insight about. And that at the time I was doing irrigation technician work, working in landscape, architecture, as well as engineering, and also going to conferences in distant cities around the U.S. And I started taking classes and learning about my skill set, but just to get out and talk to people was not my strength in life. So, like, I was in at a conference in New York City for entrepreneurs, and walking down the street, going to the conference center, and as people would pass me, I'd be like, "Oh, I have a painful back. Who just passed me? Who has a painful back?" And in the moment, I would feel like I was being guided to go tell. The phrase would be, "Go tell that person that you felt his painful back." And they're like, "Okay," but in New York City, you just walk up to strangers all day long and like tell them they have painful back, and this is actually quite scary for me. But okay, I'll do it. And I run back. It's like, "Hey, you've got a painful back." And the guy's like, "I know." Like, and then I was like, "I don't know what to do about it. I just was supposed to tell you that you have a painful back." And then another lady was pushing at several blocks away. She was like pushing her stroller, walker, and I like, "Hey, I think I can help you with what's happening here." She's like, "Leave me alone." And I was like, "Okay, well." And so I had a lot of these, we'll say maybe failures at that moment in my time. I was like, I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to understand what I have and so I was feeling dejected at that. But as I went to this conference, there's another lady there. She had just graduated from school 10 years previous, and she was like, "I don't know. I was working as a subcontractor for NASA for an engineering firm. We're building the Orion space shuttle, and so many different things that happened to me. And I ended up having a family after I graduated, but now I find myself in major pain. I don't know if it's my pain or somebody else's pain." And she had said this several times, and I had opportunity to walk with her down the sidewalk to one of the events in the evening, and she said it again. It's like, "I'm in so much pain. I feel like I don't even want to go to my engineering job. I am so much." And I was like, "So you're an engineer? You're an aeronautical engineer?" She's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, as an engineer, you actually have the skill set and the internal processes to know exactly if it's your pain or somebody else's pain." And nobody had actually said those type of words to her as the engineer, that she actually has the skill set. And she was like, "Oh," and I met with her the next day, and she was like, "Cable, I thought through it. I thought through all my processes, and I actually do have the skill set of knowing whether it was my pain or somebody else's pain. And I've been able to think through." And she was very intrigued. She was like, "I want to work with you. I now understand that a large portion of what I'm feeling is not my pain, it's somebody else's pain. But can you help me get out of pain?" From my softball days when I was 10 years ago, I'm in so much pain right now. I just want to stop my engineering job. And I said, well, yeah, I can help you. You, and then the next day she came back and we ended up, um, exchanging information and helping, uh, get started. Within 3 weeks, I got her out completely out of pain, and she went on to accomplish a lot of things. Now she has her own business and also in body whispering. So she kind of went from engineering into this a very similar space that I work in with her own special engineering. She goes from an engineering side of helping the body heal, but very, very dynamic skill set she has. And she helps female athletes overcome gastrointestinal issues. So it's amazing the transformation she had and the ability to step out in a big way that she hadn't ever stepped out before in her life.
So it's more than medical intuitive, and it's also awakening other people's gifts.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah, and that I would consider that healing. I think that's amazing, and I love body whisperer. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, that really speaks to what she does really quickly.
And you.
I know I don't usually use that that phraseology, but definitely, I'm more demonstrative. No whispering around me.
Oh, well, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So have you gotten pretty good at being able to differentiate yourself between when you're feeling someone else's and when it's yours?
No, I still have trouble with that. I in a lot of areas I'm so open, so it's often I'm like I have a certain understanding and I'm living my life in a certain way and I can't actually do a set action. And then someone recently pointed out, I was like, hey, well, that's not your understanding. That's not your inner vision. That's this other person's inner vision. And I was like, oh, you're right. It's not actually, it's something I picked up from them. So I'm getting better at knowing more of what I need and want in life. And there's a lot of people who are running around thinking that they are really honoring themselves and and really connected to what they want in life when they're really living somebody else's life because they're so open as well and they receive so much of everyone else. It's hard for them. So we're with these people. I help them figure out what really is their feelings and needs and what's somebody else's. It's when I'm better at knowing if it's mine or somebody else's, getting better and better. I still have certain programs and understandings inside of me that aren't mine. And I understand, wait a minute, I've been living in this area of my life. I've been living this person's life and I've been living this person's life. So I'm definitely learning more about me. And in some people, I'm leaps and bounds ahead of how they understand and feel. And other people, I'm just one little tiny step ahead of them. I'm able to help them just a little bit more beyond their understanding of their life process. But it's a work in progress for me and other people I help.
Mm-hmm. So I know, like, do you find that people react differently? Like one person just accepts it and has a healing and another person has to be a little slower, has to adjust kind of like level by level or
Yeah, well, I worked with a therapist and their client, and they're like, we both kind of fell off. We have right now we're testing high blood pressure. And I was like, oh, blood system needs help. But I was like, yeah, you need to do this, this, this. And at the time I was helping, I was doing something else. I couldn't immediately help them. So I was going to see how my instruction on what needed to happen would go. So did you do this? And they're like, we tried, but no change occurred. I was like, well, I had instructed them to turn on light switches in their systems, and they're like, yeah, we turned on the light switch. I was like, I know, but it switched back off again. And so they're like, what? we thought you switch it on and it stays on. I was like, no. In some cases, the energy of the body is so chaotic or low that you switch on your light switch and it just flips back off again. You got to put in new light switches that have like lockout features, and maybe you bring in your ancestors to hold that switch up to keep the light on in your life sufficiently in order to be able to make the type of changes. And they were like, oh, that's a new idea. I thought I could just turn on the light switch and it stays on. In physical life, when I flip on the light switch, it stays. Yeah. But in internal light switches, often we're just like, oh, yeah, I can make that change. And then it flips back off. It's like, why am I not making the change that I need? It's like, well, you got to keep that light switch on. Why? I flipped it on. It's like, I know, but it flipped back off again. Wow. I understand. I didn't know this was occurring. I thought I was flipping on the light inside my body so I could change. It's like, well, you can check into all those light switches. Are they still on? No. Well, you got to do something different because your light switches are slipping. That means that you haven't understood that bad energy can be more powerful than good energy. If you have a large amount of bad energy, it can be more powerful and overcome the good energy. But light, we know, pushes away darkness. But if you have massive amounts of darkness, sometimes even candles, you like light the candle and it blows out. It's like, wow, there's a lot of dark wind in this space. It's like you light the candle again, and it blows out. It's like, I got to protect this light in a certain way for a candle. For a light switch, you flip it on and it flips off. It's like something is nefarious in this area. So I'm gonna flip on that light switch and I hold it up, and wow. And so actually one of these clients I was helping, it's like she's too tired to even flip the switch on. I was like, okay. And I helped her get to a point where she had more ability to flip the switch on, keep the light on. So she was able to heal through her difficulty from that point. So sometimes it does relate to the amount of light somebody has, whether they can move forward in a very fast healing fashion. And often people don't like, well, you know, I'm human, I'm full of light, and I should be able to heal up easily. And it's often they aren't sufficiently light in order to move forward in a way that they'd like, with the speed, the type of healing that they'd like. So there is levels of light someone needs in order to heal. There's levels of connection someone needs. There's levels of connection to higher power, to God, to universe. Sometimes there are certain sequences that need to occur before what they're looking for can occur in their life. So it's not always easy A to B. You're like, okay, what are we missing in this? Why isn't this type of sequence happening? It happens for somebody else, but it doesn't happen for me. What am I missing? And it's not a conscious understanding. People are like, yeah, I can solve it consciously. Like, no, this particular problem has to be solved subconsciously, has to be solved in a different way. You don't have the answer. I don't have the answer? No. I was like, but the gurus out there say we have all the answers. It's like, well, is true that we have all the answers, but not on the conscious level. So you could think about it over and over and over and still not solve it. You have to ask your subconscious to solve it, or your unconscious, or have God solve it, or the universe solve it. Sometimes it's not you consciously that will solve it. It's something bigger than you will solve it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's often a new thought process to people. Like, I didn't know that I didn't know that I didn't know that I could not solve this. But I need to actually ask, or bring in a new level of light, or ask my subconscious to solve it. And then I just wait around until I actually know the answer. Often people go to their answers like, yeah, I know what it is. I know what's causing this issue. It's like, no, you still haven't found the right answer. No, I know it's this issue. It's like, no, you have not found the right answer yet. Like, I gotta just wait here until my internal subconscious, my body solves it. Yep. And that's also a new concept that, like, I thought I come up with all my other answers. Why can't I come up with this? It's like, this is more complex. We're talking about 1,000 times faster than your brain can think.
Mm.
That's how much computing power is required to solve this problem. Oh, okay. Will AI tell me the solution? No, this is an internal subconscious solving, and sometimes it takes, even at 1,000 times faster, it takes more time than you're used to in getting the answer.
Mm. I want to come back to this. Something you said too triggered something in me, but we're going to take a quick break first. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back with Cable Jones.
Why do 98% of beauty enthusiasts rave about coolness? It's all in the blend of ancient wisdom and modern science. Introducing Coolness, Pearlescent Face and Eye Serum Cream. This powerhouse combines the antioxidative power of schisandra berries, the glow of pearl powder, and the hydrating wonders of dragon's blood extract. It's like a time machine for your skin, making it radiant, firm, and oh so smooth. Inspired by ancient Chinese traditions and backed by modern nutritional science, this serum cream is perfect for dry, mature, and aging skin. It's time to unlock your inner glow with Coolness. Treat your skin to the best of both worlds today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. We are here with Cable Jones, who is an amazing medical intuitive real-time healer and helps people achieve their high performance. He calls himself a high performance coach because it's all about us achieving higher performance in our lives. So Cable, one thing you said I wanted to ask you, you said we can call in our ancestors to help us. Like keep my light. I need to turn on this light switch. Ancestors come in and keep the light on for me.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, some people can call in their ancestors. Some people they'd never do that. For some reason, they connect with their bad ancestors. I recommend that you only call in your good ancestors. There are some people out there that are like, last time I did that, there was all this really bad energy. Like, you called the wrong ones. You got to call the good ones. Call the good ancestors in your life. Don't call the bad ancestors. So you don't have to be afraid of calling your ancestors in for help, but just make sure you're calling in the good ones.
Okay. That's a good tip. Yeah, always be in the light. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you looking to call in your ancestors?
Yes, I
Yeah.
decided when you were talking that I'm going to call in and I know which ones I'm calling in.
Okay, good.
And to help me get some lights turned on in what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. There's really smart ancestors. Like, that guy, I know he was like my grandfather was so smart. It's like, if he's passed on, he's like, well, you can invite him back in your space and help him. He can, like, is there any lights that I need to turn on in my life? Can you just go around my whole life and just turn on lights wherever they need to be turned on? Often you don't have to spend so much time helping yourself heal. Your ancestors know a lot more. They have a lot more their whole life lived experience. They can go out and turn on the lights and help your life flow at a much easier, faster rate than you would ever know how. And you can ask them more questions about, how did you know that I was a light switch off in my knee? Is like, well, my light switch was off in my knee when I was alive, so I flipped on yours because I knew mine was off when I was alive. So I'm just using a lot of skill sets I learned while on Earth. I'm using them to help your life as well. But they usually don't help us unless we ask them, hey, can you do this specific action? And they're more than happy to help us out.
Oh, I love that. It just feels so peaceful to me. Well, so Cable, for this third section of our show, are you willing to play with me a little bit?
I mean, yes, of course.
Okay. So I have something going on with me. Do you want me to tell you what it is, or do you want to wow the audience by?
No, I usually don't. People will say, "Hey, can you scan me and tell me what's going on?" And if I did that, I'd run out of energy at some point. Like, you gotta tell. I have people like, tell me what's going on, and then I can tell you if there's something more that I can help with. And some people I'm not able to help. Some people, like, I could help you with all these things, but that one item I'm not able to help with. So we'll see.
Well, it's my right hip and down into my leg, and it's in my low back and on the right side in my hip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying you've got pain? Pain? And what would you like me to do? Help you with? You want to get out of pain, or you want to stay in pain?
I want to get out of pain.
Some people like pain, like I just want to tell you about my painful hip and that's all I wanted to say. I have a conversation of pain.
No, I want to go through whatever to let
recently, just a couple of days ago, the allergy to victimhood. I was like, oh, that's an interesting. Like, we find ourselves in pain all the time, or like, I don't know what's going on. Is like, anything I identify in somebody, I know it's somewhere inside of me as well. It's like, I have a little bit of victimhood myself. I just like to wallow in pain for a while. Yeah. So we just clear out allergy to victimhood. Yeah.
That's so weird, because I actually said that to someone. I said, I think I'm allergic to people playing the victim. It's like, if they're an actual victim, then that's okay. But I don't want to hear somebody whine and not actually do anything to fix themselves.
Yeah, interesting. So you identified in others that they had victimhood, and you wouldn't have been able to identify in the other person that energy if you didn't also had a little bit of it inside of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
So right now we're just you can do whatever action. When I say we heal by faith, faith is an action word. You think of something that you'd like to do in order to release this allergy to victimhood. And you can do that action now. And I actually just rub my hands together and move energy. You're going to release this allergy to victimhood.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I feel a lot of like numbness releasing from both your legs, the back, your calves releasing a lot of numb, and your feet releasing a lot of shock. So um, uh, that also your feet tend to relate to your parents. So it's not just you. Your parents had victimhood. Their parents had victimhood. It's a continuous, and so your hip is a joint to foundations in your life, very strong pillars, but for some reason you've got pain in your right hip. That would be some ability to step forward in your life in a big way. It's like, I don't know if I could step forward in my life. And you might know your parents had, in some areas, they were having trouble stepping forward in a big way in their life. And your grandparents had some trouble stepping forward in a big way in their life. So clearing out this allergy of victimhood, and it feels like it's going to clear out for the next 2 hours or so. This allergy the energy of victimhood will clear out of your system, or reacting negatively to it. When you react, in a balanced way to victimhood, then you can heal through the process rather than, this woe is me. I don't know if I can solve this situation. And you never actually go solving because you're allergic to you are having reactions to being the victim in your life in some way.
Well, that's really, it's fascinating. I just find this fascinating. And it always comes back to that without it seeming like it's all about me. But it always, when you react to things, it always comes back. You have to always look at yourself, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm
right.
reacting to this because there's something in me.
So what level of pain did your hip, where was it out of 10, 0 to 10? Where was it before when you asked me, can you help me with this painful hip? And now what level of pain do you have?
It was probably about a 7. Now I think it's, well, let me see.
You'd have to get up
probably down to about a 3. Yeah, I'll know more when I stand up.
Yeah. Okay, so we went from a 7 to a 3 just by identifying this one allergy to victimhood, and now the allergy reactions, victimhood is releasing from you and your ancestors, and that took the pain from a 7 down to a 3. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So the next step, it feels like you. Did you have good relationships with your parents?
I have a very good relationship with my mom.
Okay.
I have a very rocky relationship with my dad because he was abusive and cool.
So usually when you have pain in your right hip, there's something going on with the left, and the left hip would represent your relationship with your mother, ability to step forward in a big way. Is there something that your mother prevented you from stepping forward in a big way in your life? Even though you had a good relationship with her, is there something she was saying, no, you can't step into this area, or you can't make this type of change in your life?
No, I think it's more, so my mom lives with me. She's disabled, and okay. I'm limited in what I can do. I can't just go do something. I mean, I can, like, if just for the day, but I couldn't go on I couldn't take a trip for 3 months somewhere and travel because I can't do that. I can't leave her.
Who says you can't? There's people who can step in and provide that service. Why do you have to be the only person?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? She has fear. She once told me how fearful she is of being cared for in her golden years by someone she's great fear that she'll be abused. and elder abuse. They're kind of helpless,
Yeah. Yeah. So it wouldn't take too much time to help her feel safe with the right person. You don't have to be stuck in this. I'm in prison. There's no way out. Your mother actually has flexibility. She lived her entire life. She has many years on your knowledge, even your understanding. And so this is a joint effort to like, hey, hey mom, I want to do these things. And you have this one. Is there a way that we can maybe meet? Maybe you might need to meet with 30 people or 100 people to find just that person that has that type of safety that she requires. So you're not held to a certain standard that you'd like to branch out in a way that you've not been able to branch out.
Mm. That's true.
Is that possible? Is that possible to make that type of change?
It is possible for me to. That could be possible. Yes.
Yeah. And so we could say she could have an allergy to you. A craving allergy, the reaction, like if you leave, she'll feel unsafe. That's a reaction. So yeah, I get that has this allergy to you. It's a craving allergy. It's an addiction allergy. She can't let you go somewhere without having reactions. And this happens in families. Sometimes we just like, I don't know why this is happening. Even another energy healer, I was looking at their Instagram reel and they're like, I needed my husband to take the child for like 5 minutes because I'd been around. I needed just my own time for 5 minutes. And as he was taking the child away, I was like, but don't take. She has an allergy or an addiction to the child. And as soon as she had this, but she doesn't know this. She hadn't ever learned this particular understanding, but that allergy to her child could be released. And then she was like, oh, thank you. And then she can be in her space in a big way. So that's just, you do your action, Faith. We're going to release this allergy that your mom has to you. We're just clearing out from you as well as from your mother allergy to each other, so you can easily come up with the answers in order for you don't feel in prison and she feels safe if you're there or whether you leave for a period of time. Okay. Well, I'm just rubbing my hands together again to release this allergy to each other in this sequence. And I immediately feel major pain coming out of your right foot related to the pain. So your right foot hasn't been able to support you, which was causing pain in your right hip. That's releasing out of both feet. So releasing pain out of your relationship with your parents was immediate. So we're just clearing out this allergy still. It was immediately released though. So it's gone. Tell me the level of pain you have in your hip now.
Not really feeling it anymore. Seems it's much better. Chip my leg. Not really. Yeah.
Maybe you can. Are you to stand, or you think it's gone?
If I stand up, then the camera will be.
Okay.
But
ceiling.
Just like moving around.
Good.
It feels
I think that's sufficient today. It's not. You can sit and you're not feeling it. It's probably on its way out fully, even if you stand. So after the podcast here, we can follow up, and if you still have it, we can work on a little bit more. But
okay.
You can see that definitely change can happen when you know what the intricacies. And it was like 2 allergies we just cleared out. 3 one's clearing out for 2 hours, but it's not massive amounts of need in some cases. it just depends on sometimes the level of light in your life. In Kristy's life, she definitely changed very fast, and her hips feeling much better than it was. And so
Thank you.
this is the type of help.
So, Cable, how can people find you out in the world? What is the best way to reach you?
They can run around the community like, hey, where's Cable? Where's Cable? Or up on screen, you can kind of see speaktocable.com.
Yeah.
Then you have my email address, realtimehealer@gmail.com. And I have Instagram. I have about 15 posts that I was making for professional athletes and athletes in general about how their brain can be affected by impact, concussions. I have like just understanding life process as an athlete. So you can go to Instagram and look up Real Time Healing there, discover what is going on. But especially you can schedule appointment with me, sessions with me at speaktocable.com.
Okay. And I do believe the QR code goes to your website as well. So
Right. Yep.
All right, Cable, thank you so much for being on our show. And thank you so much for that healing. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to not feel in my hip right now.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap for us. Everybody, join us every Friday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time on e360tv.com on the Vitality TV network. Or you can find us on YouTube at the Chronically Healthy Life. At Chronically Healthy Life. Swing by chronicallyhealthylife.com this week for your free 30-minute consultation with Andy and our brand new healing skincare line at coolness.com. Until then, stay vibrant, stay fierce, and stay ridiculously, unapologetically, chronically healthy. See you next Friday.